Hello everyone, I'm going to try this again. Hopefully I have a better connection this time. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live. I've been on Instagram a lot more, so if you want to catch me more often, you can go over there at Real Spiritualist. But every now and then I'll pop on Facebook to say hi, because I know I have a lot of friends on here that aren't on Instagram. I just wanted to check in and say hi and show you my beautiful gray hair that's coming in. Just decided to just let it all go. We just dodged a big hurricane like 3 days ago. I don't know if some of you guys saw it in the news, but that's the thing. You know, the news told us that the hurricane was going to hit even up to like the 11th hour. All the news sources, the mainstream news sources that I saw, showed and, broadcasted and reported that it was going to hit Puerto Escondido, and everybody in the town was, of course, panicking. And I know it's always good to be prepared and to be safe. The most important thing is to be safe in your mind, right? So the way to be safer in the mind is not always trusting what you hear, not always trusting news sources and mainstream stuff, because I think most of us can agree by now that it hasn't always been in our best interest as far as the truth. So I always take it upon myself to go to other sources that are not sponsored or lobbied or owned by, big corporations, because they generally all have the same thing to say, and it's usually fear-driven. So anyway, long story short, I went to my own sources. I did a radar scan of I went to a source that had the radar, and it clearly showed that it was going to miss Puerto. And I went on my Facebook page to tell people that, hey, everything's going to be okay, the hurricane's not going to hit us, blah, blah, blah. And I got, reamed really badly for having other sources that were not mainstream. So that brings me to my Facebook Live today. Part of the reason that I got off of Facebook is because I don't want to see all of this fear-driven mainstream media insanity that's constantly being plugged into our minds 24/7, because we don't really have that here where I live, with the exception of the hurricane that we just dodged. But that's only because I was even present within a news source. I mean, I'm sure that they do it anyway. But it's really, 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 really peaceful. It's a way more peaceful life when we just live it and you just trust. And listening to all this fear-driven mainstream nonsense, I've caught a few things in my peripheral vision on Facebook that have been going on in the United States, and it's just mind-blowing. It's one thing after the next, 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 and it's like this programming. You don't really realize how bad it is until you remove yourself from it. And it's been going on 5 months now that I've been removed from that daily conditioning, even though when I lived in the United States, I didn't, listen or watch TV or anything either. But, being on Facebook pretty regularly, you see things that people post. You can't really avoid it because it's absolutely everywhere. And one of the reasons I moved to Mexico, there's many reasons, but one of them was to just have some peace and get away from that constant programming. And even though I chose not to partake in it when I lived there, it's just everything and everyone around me was so consumed in all of this reporting of stuff. It's non-stop. It's the monkeypox, Johnny Depp things, school shootings, it's Ukraine, it's all the time. It's all the time. It's something all the time. And I really feel for you guys because you're being bombarded all the time. Even if you choose not to be a part of it, it's still there. So the reason I titled this Facebook Live, Thoughts Your Reality, is what are you thinking about? Because where our attention goes, energy flows. and whatever you think about becomes your reality. So yes, things do exist. Yes, we have to be aware of things and do our best to prepare, into whatever that looks like for our belief system. But that's the thing, like, if you believe the worst, you're probably going to get the worst. So I invite you to just take some time, unplug, check out, be mindful, be aware. Awareness is great, but this everyday consumption of the news and broadcasting and all these things that they're putting down your throat all the time, it's just really not healthy. It's really not, because even if you kind of know it's bullshit and you're like, yeah, whatever, another hyped up story, it's still being, introduced into your mindset. So what we resist persists as well, right? There's all these beautiful sayings that go with thoughts, and the main one is your thoughts create your reality. So what reality do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world of peace? Because it does exist. There's a lot of peace out there. I live in a very, very peaceful place. So why is it that, just over the border, or just, a few miles in one direction, or a few 100 miles or 1,000 miles in one direction, the world is so different? Why is that? Well, yeah, culture is one, but it's also what people choose to consume in their mind. And here, we don't get all that. We don't get all that fear-based insanity 24/7. So I find that people are generally really happy and they mind their business. They really do. They mind their business here, and it's very peaceful. And I think one of the things in the United States is that people don't know how to mind their business, because the news is always in everybody's business. So then it kind of gives them permission to, like, perpetuate the information and get into everybody's business. And that's just, how's it working out? So I just want to invite you to be more just mindful of what you allow into your mind, into your life, into your environment, into your conversations, what you give your energy and attention to, what you choose to respond to on Facebook, all of those things. Hi, Kelly. Just be really mindful of what you choose to allow into your thoughts, because your thoughts do create your reality. And if you're constantly thinking about all this fear-driven stuff that's being constantly put into your mind daily, especially in the United States through Facebook and television and media and commercials, sometimes I have this little secret that I love game shows. I did win The Price is Right in 2005 with Bob Barker as a showcase showdown. Probably many people don't know that. But I love watching game shows because I love watching people win, because I love to see people happy. So there's my little, dopamine addiction is game shows. So sometimes I watch CBS.com and I'll watch The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal. And I have to mute the commercials. Every single commercial, I'd say about 90% of the commercials, all about prescription drugs. All of them. Like, hey, feeling this, got this symptom, got that, got this, got this. And it's just, I didn't watch TV anyway for 20 years. I haven't had TV. But when I stream something online, sometimes they have commercials. So see how much your happiness shifts. See how much the peace within you shifts. Because it will. Because your thoughts are